Welcome, welcome to the town hall. Get to know. And tonight we are going to get to know Christine Olson. I'm very excited about this broadcast. It's going to be a really informative evening. Um, First thing I want to do is take off my notifications. Sorry about that. It's always something for me with respect to technology, but that's okay. Live and learn, correct? Yes. So the Get to Know show is about people that are making a positive impact in their communities. And so I always like to introduce these individuals to the viewers. We're going to be taking some questions this evening as well. If you've got some questions for Christine, you can certainly ask them. We're going to talk about how tragedy, tragic loss has comes from triumph. As a result of a tragic loss, we have triumph. She's going to share this story with her, how her daughter's death created and gave rise to Tiff's Initiative, which is sweeping the country's legislative halls. And after tonight, we want even more states to be talking about this because this is an important message that we're going to send tonight. Christine was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. After visiting her brother on Anna Maria Island, right out here in Sarasota area, it's actually Manatee County. She came out there in the 1990s and she kind of fell in love with it. She loved the sun, the surf, being out in the island. It's a wonderful place out there. And so she relocated to Anna Maria Island. And her daughter, Tiffiany, was not ready, so she didn't come right away. But about 3 months later, Tiffiany, that's her daughter, and that'd be the person that we're going to be talking about this evening, came along, and got a new job, started working at Mote Marine, which is a local aquarium here in town. Really awesome place. If you ever come to Sarasota, you've got to check that out. And so she loved dolphins. She loved being outdoors, obviously, and walking the beach and looking for sea turtle eggs and, family time on the beach, which is really important. Life was amazing, really, it was. And until about December 5th or December 7th, excuse me, in 2005, and at about 7:01 p.m., a tragic accident took the life of Tiffiany and her boyfriend in a motorcycle accident. Absolutely devastating to lose your daughter, and also for the boyfriend too and their family, because there was no emergency contact information though in her wallet. She wasn't carrying anything at the time, right? She's on a motorcycle. She had her license on her, but there was no contact information of who to call or who to contact in the case of an emergency. And so what happened is about 6 hours went by before Christine finally found out that her daughter was at the hospital. I'll let her tell the rest of that story. But what this does, this initiative, it's called Tiffs Initiative. And it is, Tiffs Initiative is a nonprofit. We'll have Christine explain about that. And it's all about legislation to get people or get the state Department of Motor Vehicles to allow you to put emergency contact information on your license. And so, in case of an emergency, someone is contacted immediately. Could be the difference between seeing, your loved one or seeing them after the fact and being there for them in such a tragedy. Um, This is a huge deal. Many states have already adopted this legislation. They actually won the international award in 2006 from the American Association of Motor Vehicles for the recognition from the Ash Institute at Harvard University. And were known as one of the top 50 government innovations of 2009. I mean, this is powerful stuff. So TIFF pursues with determination to reach out to families and government agencies with a solution she believes is a national crisis. Caroline doesn't want TIFF's story to be your story, and that's what we're going to share about tonight. So let me, without further ado, bring in Caroline Olson. Caroline, welcome, Caroline.
It's actually Christine.
Why do I keep on doing that? I just. No,
You've done that,
I do have to do this. It's
yes.
I'm sorry, everybody. I've done it multiple times. I don't know why. It's
And
Christine Olson.
right, Christine Olson, S-O-N, of Swedish descent, and it's Tiffany Olson. It's not Tiffiany.
Oh,
And
did they misspell that?
no, it is the correct spelling, but that goes back to when I was giving birth to my daughter, and evidently they were asking me how to spell it, and honestly, that was the last thing on my mind was how to spell her name, and they said, "Is it IANY or ANY?" And I thought, "Oh wait, another contraction." And I said it's IANY. I don't know, and it has stuck. But I like to say that Tiffany, is as unique as her name and the spelling. So I would like to just kind of go back and tell your listeners exactly what happened that night because the details are the most important because a lot of your listeners are going to be able to relate to what I'm about to say. So this was a Wednesday night, December 7th of 2005. Tiffany was supposed to actually be with her mother. There was a big grand opening of a gym spa in Palmetto, right by the marina there. And I
Hmm.
had asked her to go with me because there was going to be free gifts and food and all this and hoopla. And I said, Tiffany, come with me. And she said, Oh, Mom, I already have plans. And that was with Dustin. And I said, Oh, darn it. All right. So off she goes. She had worked that day. They both, they worked 9 to 5 jobs. And every Wednesday night, they would, not every Wednesday night, but most majority of the nights, they would go to a place in St. Pete called Steak and Lou. I,
Hmm.
and that's a sort of like a Mel's Diner type thing. They have bike nights on Wednesday nights. And I would say that Dustin came out of the womb on a bike. He raced them, he jumped them. And even though I wasn't a fan of Tiffany being on a motorcycle, she loved Dustin and she rode and Dustin loved his bike, so they rode together and always practice safety, helmets, clothing, never no alcohol, nothing, speed limit, everything. And Dustin would always say, you never have to worry about her because I have precious cargo behind me. And I would say, Dustin, just be careful with my girl. And so I went to my spa event. Tiffany and Dustin had their date night. And so I came home, watched a movie. I remember the movie I was watching. It was a movie on Pope John Paul that was just awesome. Movie ended about 11. I shut off the TV, went into my bed. You know how you get snuggled into your bed and just get
Hmm.
comfortable. And the phone rang about 11:15. And I thought, honestly, who calls me this late at night? I mean, really.
Right.
So I was going to let it go to voicemail. And there was a gut feeling that said, get up and answer the phone. So I answered the phone. It was my son, Derek, and 29 at the time. And Derek says, Mom, she's been hurt in an accident. Get to Manatee Memorial. And he said, don't ask questions, get to the hospital. So honestly, Stephen, I don't even know if I got dressed. I might have showed up in my pajamas.
Hmm.
And I met my son at the emergency room of Manatee Memorial and ran into the emergency room. I said, I'm looking for Tiffany Marie Olson. She's been involved in an accident. And they looked in their computers and they says, well, she's not here. And I says, well, she's been hurt, so she's got to be somewhere. I said, can you call another hospital? And they said, well, because of the HIPAA law, we don't do that.
Hmm.
And I thought, are you
So
kidding?
they would say that you could do that, I would assume. Um,
Well,
that's kind of
hospitals
strange.
if the hospitals can't check with another hospital, I don't think they're going to give me any information.
Hmm.
But that's exactly what the hospital told me. They said you can go in this little room off to the side and try and make a phone call.
Hmm.
My son was trying to call, no information. Um, we asked, can someone please call law enforcement? They said, well, we don't know where it happened. We don't know what county. We don't know nothing. We're an emergency room. And I thought, oh my gosh. So panic sets in. I start crying. I get hysterical. I don't know what to do. I know I went to the chapel and started praying. I thought, oh, please let her be okay. And finally, 1:30 in the morning, I was standing outside the emergency room entrance of Manatee Memorial. Just it's 1:30. I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm so exhausted from crying.
Hmm.
And Highway Patrol, Florida Highway Patrol, pulls into the parking lot, and my son Derek, and I can see this happening. My son Derek is on my left-hand side, and he collapses and starts crying, and he says, "Oh, excuse me," and I got caught up in the moment. And Highway Patrol approached me and very casually said, "Sorry, she's gone." And I didn't know what that meant. I mean, did she go to St. Pete or Tampa? I don't know what you're saying. And I'll never forget, there was I don't remember the faces of law enforcement, but I remember the shrug of a shoulder. And it was just kind of that hunch. And it was just like that. And they said, well, no, we presume she's with the medical examiner, but they're closed. You can call them in the morning. And they handed me a plastic bag with my daughter's belongings in it and asked me to sign for it and sent me home.
Hmm.
That was that.
Wow.
So,
Hmm.
yeah,
That must have
exactly.
been, yeah.
So, in the days, weeks, I mean, you're planning a funeral, and you really are operating in a fog. You just, I mean, you're just existing. But,
It,
there was just something that went through my head, and it just said something very wrong here. I mean, and if it's happening to me, who else is it happening to? So
right.
there was the birth of the idea.
And that's amazing. So it's like the tragedy, and that's the important factor. I mean, it's just got to be terrible to lose a child. I mean, I have not personally experienced that. Um, so it's hard for me to understand, but boy, I can just sure feel. I mean, I've lost close friends, and it's not the same. It wouldn't be the same. And so out of that, though, I remember talking with you, and you said that you started talking to some of your friends. You were sharing about how it would have been more important to have been notified sooner.
Well, so I work at a small fishing pier restaurant on Anna Maria Island called the Rod and Reel Pier, and I just knew something was very wrong with what happened to me. So I started talking to people, and Tiffany's on the back of a motorcycle. She doesn't have her purse, but she's got her driver's license in her pocket. And I thought, what if there was a way to do something with a driver's license? What if there was something? But I'm a server at a restaurant. I don't know government or law enforcement or anything. So I actually took a yellow legal pad and I wrote the question, what do you think about including emergency contacts in a driver's license? Anna Maria Island, 7 Mile long barrier island. And but it's got a lot of people. And because everybody knows everybody, buzz started happening on that island. So actually, the cook in the kitchen, Captain John, he said, Christine, you need a petition. I said, well, I don't even own a computer. I have no idea. He said, let me make the petition. Well, the petitions went crazy. And people start making copies of petitions, going door to door because it was community support, but it was an idea that was registering in their heads. And they said, this has to happen.
So the initiative was to pass legislation so that emergency numbers could be attached.
It had nothing to do with any of that. It
Oh,
was it was just a question of what do you think about including this? And I don't know where to go with this. But once the petition started adding up, I was told to go to my state representative, Bill Galvano. Um, he is now president of the Senate, but back in those days, 2005, I went to his office and he looked at the idea and he really just said, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." He took it to Florida Highway Safety Motor Vehicles in Tallahassee. State of Florida says, "Why haven't we done this? We're doing this immediately." So there was no legislation or nothing. It
Hmm.
went right to the top. And then the state of Florida said, "We're doing it immediately." Less than a year later, October 2nd, 2006, Tiffany is killed December 7th, 2005. October 2nd, 2006, I am literally the first person to enter my emergency contact information online with Florida Highway Safety Motor Vehicles in the world. There is nothing like it, and it's happening here, Manatee County, to one mother that said something's wrong. So that's how we got it into the DMV with the state of Florida. It was actually called the House Resolution that
Hmm.
Bill Galvano introduced. So that's how that started. And in that first year, well, from October to December, I think it went to almost a 500,000 people registered. It
Wow.
just people seen it and they were just like, got to do it.
So now
And
you were the very first one to register, and that was in
the world
2000.
in the world. I was so scared because I'm in Bill Galvano's office, but all the media is there, all law enforcement's there, and I thought, please don't let me make a mistake on entering this. I mean, I'm just scared because the cameras are zoomed in and that, but I
Right.
did it. I hit enter, and I went to be the number one.
Wow.
So then it started moving pretty quick. And I'll tell you honestly, without the state of Florida, this would not be moving as fast as it is because the state of Florida, if you go to Florida Highway Safety Motor Vehicles, emergency contact information, it's all dedicated to Tiffs Initiative. But we register, the state of Florida and myself, we register over 1 million people a year because
Wow.
our outreach, community outreach, news releases, public releases, the media comes in, always is doing stories. And so them are great numbers. So
Hmm.
16 million. But now we have a total 14 other states are welcoming
Well,
Florida.
okay, I was going to ask you. So I mean, well, we've got this, and so, um, I was blessed because my sister actually met Christine, and my sister's a big pet advocate, but
Yeah,
nonetheless, anyways, we were she had met Christine, and so from that, she told her about my broadcast, but she brought me this. She brought me this
yeah,
Suncoast Pets.
yeah.
And there's a great article. Now, in that article, it talks about what? So 10 states. So you're now up to how many states have adopted this?
15, including Florida.
Wow. See, that's so awesome.
So I met Candace Fatha, who is the author of Suncoast Pets, just at an event. And she said, as a pet owner, if I'm involved in an accident, medical emergency with heart attack, stroke, reaction to medication, whatever it is, and I'm rushed to an emergency room, I'm unconscious, unresponsive, something. Um, who knows that I have a pet in the house? Who would know? Now you may
Mhm.
be a single person, and let me tell you, there's a lot of singles out there. I'm one of them. But there are people out there that have pets, and that pet is waiting for your 5 o'clock to come in that door to be let out, to be fed. But what if days go past, weeks go past? That pet may die because nobody
You're
even
right.
knows. And that's sad.
It is sad.
Sad. But what
You
if the
know,
pet has medical situations and needs medication too? So now for all the pet advocates out there, we're looking for people to get on board. This is huge also for that world. Um, so that's how Candace said this is important for all the pet owners also. So, with all these states getting on board, 16 million registered, the awards you mentioned, the 2006 International AMVA Award, American Association of Motor Vehicle Administration, that they just said they recognized it as the concept. There was no concept ever for emergency contact to be put in a driver's license. It came out of my head. How is this possible? But it did.
Right. The
So,
only thing is the donor. You can donate your organs.
well, that too. So, but international means what? International. So
Yes.
this initiative has the power and the potential to go across the globe. But like you said, very good point, Stephen. Thank you. So Tiffany was an organ donor. I never even knew that until I was told after she passed. So at 22 years old, she had signed it on her card and to be an organ donor. Now, her major organs were shut down at the scene of the accident, but they were able to take her corneas, her bones from the hip down for people that are crushed in accidents and need the bones, um,
Bone marrow.
and skin for people that have been in burns, in accidents with, and received burns. And her eyes actually went to a 10-year-old Florida girl. And
Wow.
I thought her legacy lives on.
It
But
does.
it's so amazing. So that's very important. Who's ever listening here, please take a minute, go with your driver's license and click the link to donate your organs. You're not going to need them, none of them. And to know that Tiffany's passing has helped 7 people here in the state of Florida is amazing to her mother. Just amazing. And I'm so grateful for that girl to have made that decision. But
That is incredible.
that's
Folks,
so,
we want you to take action about this stuff. This stuff is important, right?
yeah.
And there was something that you had told me just prior to starting the broadcast here, a piece of advice about a statement to make, because it is a call to action. That's what we're asking you to do. If you want to register your emergency contacts and or make a donation to the Tiffs Initiative, then you can go to their website at toinformfamiliesfirst.org/register. Register your name so that there's emergency contacts. We're suggesting as well that you uh, donate your organs, and you can make a difference in somebody's life. And that's what this is all about. The show is about people making a difference, a positive impact in community, and you can do that for somebody. You can help them, and that's why I was so excited to bring Christine on this evening.
Well, let's just go back, Stephen, if you don't mind, and talk about this registration. So a lot of
Yes.
people are saying, okay, so who gets the information? So when you go to toinformfamiliesfirst.org and click register, you are going to be redirected to Florida Highway Safety Motor Vehicles. You go directly into the state of Florida. That's where you got your driver's license from. It's going to ask you for your driver's license number followed by your birth date. Simple, required everywhere. And then when you go to the next page, it says in the event of an emergency where you are nonverbal, heart attack, stroke, accident, whatever, who do you personally want law enforcement to contact on your behalf? So they're going to give you 2 odds. They want 2 contacts. Your primary is the most important, and that contact may also be able to mention that there's a pet in the home. These are your contacts. There may be allergies that the emergency room doctors have to know. Your first primary emergency contact should be able to relate information to either law enforcement or a medical doctor and say, listen, they're treating this person, but I want you to know they have allergies, they have this, that, rare blood types, whatever it is. The primary emergency contact that you enter, please make sure that that person has this relevant information. The secondary is, like, my son is my first, but my brother is my second. The second can kind of follow up with that, may not have all that information, but good to have it anyways. Now, here's the tricky little part. The state of Florida wants 3 phone numbers per contact because a lot of people still have a business, a landline, and a cell number. If you no longer have a job, or you don't, or you're retired or whatever, or you don't have a landline, I suggest put in as many phone numbers as you can get in there, because they want you to fill those spaces in, because they're going to start going down the list. So your most relevant ones are first, then you start trickling it down. And this is, your contacts do not have to be in Florida. A lot of people in Florida are retired and they live here, and their families are in the Midwest. I'm from Milwaukee, the East Coast, whatever. So your most primary numbers should be listed first, but make sure these are the people that you believe in your heart are going to respond to that phone call if it happens. And it's all about prevention. And who doesn't want prevention right now? We should really be, very active about that. But so that information is stored in the database on the driver's license. It's not visible on the front. It's stored in that database. And it is only accessible by law enforcement in the event of an emergency. So there's no worries. It's stored. It's safe. It's just, and literally, guys, all you're entering is, if I'm hurt, if Christine is hurt, this is who to contact for me. That's all you're saying. Contact this person on my behalf. So that's just clarification where that information is stored. But then also, these other states are coming on board because, so like for instance, Indiana. So I get a phone call from a police officer in Indiana, and she's like, Christine, I responded to a fatality with a Florida driver in Indiana. When I ran the license, I seen that there was an emergency contact tied to the license. She said, how do we do that in the state of Indiana? Another state was born. So the goal is, don't waste any time on registering your emergency contact. That should be just, it takes you 2 minutes. It's free, it's easy, it's safe. There's no reason not to. But I do want to touch on the goal, because the goal is a call to action. After you register, I'm asking you to go and like us on Facebook and start sharing our Facebook page. Also, like our website, and share the link. Now, if you're in a state that is not participating in Tiffs Initiative yet, and you can find that out by going to toinformfamiliesfirst.org, click register, and all the states will appear that are participating. Let's say you're in a state that doesn't have it. North Carolina, Georgia's not on board. South Carolina, those states are not. New York's not on board. Talk about, wow, they need to be on board. You can simply share the To Inform Families First link with a state representative or a senator and say, listen, they're doing this in Florida. My family lives in this state. I need to get this. You have to get this done in this state. That state will then contact the state of Florida and say, Florida, tell us how you did it. You're not contacting me with the technical stuff. I'm the story. But you're going to contact Florida, and Florida's doors are wide open. They said, if you have a question, come to us. We're happy to answer any questions about how to implement it in your state. So this can't be one mother doing this. We need, so let's say all these other states that are now participating with TIF, they put it in their website, on their state driver's license. So let's use Texas for instance. So Texas just started January 1st. How many Texans know that this even exists? Probably none.
Right.
Probably none, because you need news sources to get on board. You need advocacy within the state. You need groups that say, you know what, we're going to start advocating the solution Tiffs Initiative is within our state. So once again, you can't bring this back to one mom. It's got to be, everybody's got to pick it up. And we got to spread. A good example is, let's just say let's just say a girl, like me. I find this terrific deal at the store, fabulous dress. I'm going to go and tell my girls. I'm going to say, man, you can't believe the deal I seen on this dress. And here's where to get it. I want that same fire to connect with Tiffs Initiative. I just registered my emergency contact information. Oh my gosh, here it is. Here's the link. And spread a contagious atmosphere on the solution that Tiff brings. Because what we have not touched base on is the national average is 6 hours. For me, it was 6.5. My sister was involved in an emergency in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, requiring emergency brain surgery. She was in ICU on life support. 3-day notification to her daughter 1 hour away. 3 days. So
Right. I was reading that in the article that it said
this
that it
is
can sometimes take days for the law enforcement to figure out who to contact.
so Pennsylvania got on board, and Pennsylvania had a conversation with me. Excuse me, and they said we have a backlog of bodies in the morgue because we don't know emergency contacts. We don't know family information to release the bodies to. We have kids that are overdosing, and these kids are dumped off at hospitals, and they have no emergency contact. This is available to anyone with a permit, driver's license, identification card, but it takes people to be aware of it. It takes people to advocate for it. So I welcome everyone who's listening to contact me, reach out to me and say, Christine, I have a resource. I have someone I can reach out. What if we did it through our companies? What if a company said, we're going to provide it to through human resources? We're going to provide it to our employees as the service. What if we had Allstate Insurance or State Farm or any of these insurance companies say, when you sign up for insurance, we're going to offer you the availability to register emergency contact. Wouldn't that be a great gift for a company to offer someone?
I think that's a great idea.
So, and so we need sponsors, we need partnerships, people partnering together. Here in Bradenton, we have Turning Point. Now they have partnered because they are providing the homeless with emergency contact information. So the homeless need it. We've really realized, Stephen, that Tiffs Initiative will benefit every single person in the United States of America and around the globe in some way or another. For the college students that may be going back to college come fall, because it's not going to happen now, but come fall, excuse me, when they travel to another state to go to school, they should have their emergency contacts registered so the parents don't have to worry. For husbands or wives or moms or dads that travel by, a lot of flights, you're taking a plane to different places and that, have your emergency contact. My girlfriend down the street, her kids all play sports and they carpool. These moms carpool. She said, my kids don't get in a car unless you registered your emergency contacts with Tiffs Initiative. So this is how little simple things can cause that explosion almost to go viral across our nation. And for the states that are not participating, let's get them on board. But for the states that are, we need advocacy within the state. So I'm looking for that also. So
well, I see that, and you can add the states that also have added. You've added 15. I've got Colorado, I've got Florida, Illinois, Maryland, New Jersey, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee.
And that's all you do. When you go to toinformfamiliesfirst.org, click register, click the state. If you're not from this state and you're listening to this broadcast, click your state, register right there, right through Tiff, and then share it. So even if you have family in Ohio, say, hey, I'm sharing this link with you to make sure you register your emergency contact. So it really is so easy. And, you were talking about a quote, and that's from my score
Yes.
for John Stewart. And it was so, he was just sitting back and thinking about it. And he said, people really don't know how much they're going to need it until they need it. And you're either
Mhm.
registered or you're not. And like we said, if you're not registered, law enforcement doesn't have a clue who to register on or who to notify on your behalf. They don't have a clue. You have to provide something for them to work with. Without it, they're at a loss. And like my sister,
Mhm.
3 days notification to her daughter, 1 hour away. So the choice is yours. The choice really is up to the viewer here. But I also want to extend that invitation for you to contact me. Let's join forces. It's passing the baton. You win the race when you pass that baton. I get tired, someone else picks it up and picks it up and picks it up, and we go to another state. Let's join forces and get this done,
Mhm.
because my mission is to make sure what happened to me doesn't happen again and it doesn't become your story.
Exactly. Now, we've got lots of viewers here. I'm going to put up some viewer comments now for us to take a look at. And Jerry Smith tells us the minute that he saw this, he first saw it, he registered his name. I remember because, of course, that's my dad. I love you, Dad. Thanks for watching tonight. But, my dad did it. He sent me the link. I did it. I'm already there. I'm registered. Yeah, he's one of the contacts. Absolutely.
Forward. Now we have to pay it forward, because when we hear good news, we want to pay it forward.
We have lots of viewers here, and they have plenty of comments. We will go now to Mona Hafez, and she said it's an incredible story. God bless you. You're sorry. She's sorry for your loss and your prayers. And I also wanted to go to her comment here about living in Virginia and donating organs. We talked about that as well too. Um, so we're trying to get the message out that you can help. Number one, by donating your organs, although that
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
think I was asking if it was in Virginia. It is not. But Mona, we can get it done in Virginia. Reach out to me. Let's get this done.
There you go. And so that is the call to action. I want our community. We have such a wonderful community of people that are doing positive things, and so we are asking you to take action on this and reach out. You can reach out. Christine said, "Hey, look, send me a message or whatever. You can give her a direct message. You can go to that website. You can send an email. She'll help you have the answers so that you can actually take action in your state if it's not already registered. And you can tell that by going to her website. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And also, if you can, make a donation. Make a donation because this is just Christine. Christine's doing this on her own, with her own money, and she's trying to get out there. She can use support as well, and she's looking for sponsors and people that are willing to step up and do something that can impact so many people in such a positive manner. So do this. Please share this message out. Share it out as far and wide as you can get. Let's make this viral, okay? And
So,
go ahead, Christine.
so it just made me think. One of our newest partners is Lake Hospital here in Manatee County,
Mhm.
and my board chair is Cindy Tanner Felice, and she is a trauma nurse of over 30 years. And when she heard about Tiff, she said, "You have no idea how hard we work to try and find some type of emergency contact information. And we have to work so fast." So I'm thinking of the coronavirus that's going on right now. And there are people that are being rushed in to these emergency rooms and trauma centers. Some are unconscious, or some are not even in a state to remember who in my an emergency contact is. And even with technology, you're so used to going to your phone, and the numbers are right there. If you didn't have your phone and someone said, "What is so and so's number?" you would be like, "I have no clue, because I rely on my phone." So even if someone's rushed into an emergency room and says, What is your son's name or your husband's name or what or contact information? You were like, I don't even know. But you have to, with a simple swipe. So once you've registered, what happens, and that information is stored in that driver's license. When the emergency happens, law enforcement shows up. They're going to take the license and swipe it like a credit card right in their vehicle. Their vehicles have computers in with scanning a little scan bar.
Wow.
And
Okay.
and they swipe that license and the emergency contacts that you put in come up immediately on the screen. So they know exactly with a glance what to do and how fast and who to notify. So even the two questions that came in, Jerry and Mona, will you like us on Facebook? Will you share the message of Tiff? Will you get involved? You have to
We
think,
had
this is one mother. This is one mother that said something's wrong, and now 16 million registered in 15 states. Just think if we gathered together what we could do for the sake of others. Are we willing to let families just let this just happen and take your chance? Um, it's
yeah,
very sad, and there's so much we can do. And I tell you, from doing good for a human being is so much better than doing nothing at all.
and
You know,
that yeah,
it's
exactly. And
so
I know that for myself, I know I'm built to serve. That's what I do. I serve the community. I've chosen to do that, and I know that the viewers enjoy the things that we talk about and getting to meet people like Christine. And so your action, people too. You take action on positive things that do enhance not only your life but others' lives, because that's really what it is, helping other people. Um, I'll hit some more. I want to hit some of these because I want you to see. There's been a bunch of comments. Carolyn Brown's coming to us from Toronto, Ontario, and strong and powerful story, Christine. Sending healing prayers to you as well.
so
Um,
Caroline, I'm reaching out to you, my friend. So the Royal Mounted Police, there's interest in Canada. And, it takes something just, asking a police officer and just say, how would we be notified in an emergency? Plant a seed and just say they're doing something about it in Florida and many of the states in the United States. How hard would it be to implement it? And actually, you got to remember the state of Florida acted on it so fast. All they had to do was adjust some software. That was it. And in less than a year, it was up and running. So my prayer, because I see a lot of people are sending prayers, my prayer is that you pray for me. If you're a prayer person, pray for me. Pray for strength for my hands and feet, but get involved. And because it's more than one mother can literally do. And to have talked 50, I've been doing this for 15 years. December 7th, this year will be 15 years that I've told this story almost daily.
wow,
And
15
to
years.
relive, to relive my daughter's death over and over and over and over. Sometimes I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do it because it hurts me. And especially Mother's Day in a couple
Yes,
of, my heart is hurting already and missing my girl.
right.
But I do it because if I shut my mouth, someone's not going to know. And so hopefully everyone on this that's listening here opens their mouth big and wide and shouts it to the mountaintops and said, Tiffs Initiative is the solution. Get it done.
Exactly. That's so awesome. And so that's how you have turned this tragedy into a hopeful triumph,
Mhm.
that you're concentrating on bringing up that awareness, raising the awareness to recognize people need to go out there, go to the website. I'll put that back up here for everybody. Go to the website to www.toinformfamiliesfirst.org/register and register your name tonight. Okay, don't wait, don't wait. You've heard me say this before. If I wait for something, and if I say, well, okay, I'll write a note and I'll get to that in a bit, it doesn't happen. It just, if it does, it's going to happen maybe who knows when.
Yeah.
But if I take action immediately, because the time is now, because in fact, that's all we really have is this moment. We
Right.
might not even have tomorrow. We might be the situation that Christine has had to go through, that we're
Right.
not here tomorrow. Maybe not of our own fault, certainly. This wasn't.
And it's not just about us that are, it's what about your loved ones?
Yeah,
What about your loved ones in another state? So you live here in Florida and my family's all in Wisconsin. I have reached out to the DMV in Wisconsin, told them my story, told them my sister's story. They still have not acted. It takes pressure. It takes people saying, get it done. Because we have to remember government works for us.
right.
They pay we pay their bill. And so, you put a little pressure and you say, listen, my family lives there. We need to get this done because my children matter, my loved ones matter, and we want to be notified in an emergency. I don't want to wait 6 hours to find out something has happened. I don't want to wait. I want action now, right
There
now,
you go. Take action. That's
right
what
now.
it's all about.
Yeah,
Empowerment.
yeah,
Empowerment. Empower yourselves, empower your friends, empower your family to take action on this, and reach out to Christine if you need help and guidance. If your state doesn't have it, like I said, as well as Christine did, you can go to that site and it'll tell you which states are already approved and have it going. And then she'll help you do the things that you can do to bring it to the attention of the state legislators and
so
make
easy,
something happen.
so easy. You send a link. That's all you do is you send a website link, and you say they're doing it in Florida. You need to do it here, and together we can do this. But it takes
I agree.
in my hands. You have to grab my hand and do it together and reach out across our nation, and remember, I think that was last year or the year before, there were so many shootings that were going on across our nation. And I just
Yeah.
thought all these families are watching things happen on national news, wondering, are my loved ones, that one was in Texas, I think El Paso at a Walmart. At a Walmart. People shop at Walmart all the time. People are desperate right now. And,
They are.
and
They,
it
they,
is, things can happen, but just it's preventative medicine. And here's your good dose of medicine. Tiffs Initiative.
there we go. We want you to do something about that. Share this message out right now. Share the video out to the friends and your groups. Go to Tiffs. Go to the website. I'm going to put it back up there. Go to this website. Register. Register today. We don't
Forward.
want you to wait.
Forward.
Okay.
Pay it forward.
Tell everybody about this and let's just get this going. And you can say, hey, look, I have helped make an international difference in people's lives. Let's do it. This is awesome, and I was so excited to be able to have you come on, Christine. I know that I know that I know that you made a big impression on my father. You made a huge impression on my sister, and as well as me. And I took action. So yeah, you can take action too. Everybody needs to.
Okay.
Um, so we are struggling at this time. A lot of people are struggling for sure because of the pandemic. Um, And so I would just like to touch briefly on that. So how you've been affected by the pandemic from the aspect of work, is that not correct?
Oh, that is. I've been out of work for 6 weeks,
Yeah.
and uh, the whole unemployment thing is just a mess. But you know what? I keep plugging along. Um, so yeah, the virus has hit me hard. But I practice the safe distancing and all that. But it's given me an opportunity to keep talking about Tiffs Initiative too, and the importance of registering for any medical reason.
Hmm.
Uh, and it's not for old people, because it happened to a young girl, 22 years old. In the beginning, people thought it was just for kids. It's for anyone with a driver's license, ID card, or a permit, driver permit. And it's such a simple idea that so many people have said, why hasn't it happened before? I honestly don't know. But
Well,
what are the chances of, Tiffany's name being Tiffany, and out of Tiffany to inform families first? because that's the entire mission, is just to inform families first. Get them notified quickly in an emergency when it happens. And remember, I wasn't notified. And that night still haunts me because as I'm watching literally a movie on TV, drinking my hot tea, my regular routine, my daughter lay 15 minutes away dead on the pavement. And I had no idea. I had no idea. Don't let this happen to you. Take action. But please come and help me. Like us on Facebook, share the website, reach out to me, give me some ideas. If you feel that you want to, either partner, your company or whatever wants to partner with us, we're open to that. If you want to donate to this. So Stephen was saying, I'm not funded there's no funding at all. I am just a nonprofit. I am the story. The state of Florida is doing the emergency contact program, but I'm the story because if you hear just, like in another state, well, there's an emergency contact, you don't know how important it is unless you hear the story behind it. And I want people to understand it is not it is not a good story if you don't register. It is not a good story.
Well,
So
I
such
just have to say that Tiffany is so proud of you. I know that she is.
Well, I have a feeling, but I have a great faith, and I believe with my heart that I'm going to see that girl again. But her memory lives on, her legacy lives on. But I also want to leave a legacy. I want to have done something on this planet with my time here to impact someone's life. What have I done for someone else? And I heard this great message once, and it was just on the word love. What is the meaning of love? And the meaning of love is you before me. Let's practice that today. Let's do a random act of kindness. Let's share love by spreading the message and hope and solution that is Tiffs Initiative, and just share it and tell everybody. Tell everyone.
That's
Yeah,
so awesome, and I just want to say as well, I am so very proud of you. I feel like it was a blessing in my life to be able to have the opportunity to reach out to you and have
yeah,
you come on the show tonight. Um, it's a great thing, and the LWN Foundation is proud to have people like Christine Olson sharing their story and how they are making such a huge impact. Certainly a national impact. It's international in scope. Now, I mean, I know that people are seeing us from all over the world. We this does go. We're already in Canada. We know that I've got people that are watching all over the globe, so you can do this in your country too. It's not just about America. We want it to be global. Now, if anybody, we've got a couple minutes left. If you have a quick question, pop that up. We'll address some questions. I did want to acknowledge these viewers. Syed came in. He said, "Excuse me," but he says, "Hello," and we appreciate you coming. Okay, and I'm not sure where you're from, Syed, but just let us know if you want to. If you have a question as well, um, put it in the comments for us. If you want to, reach out directly to Christine. Um, so we had several comments. Rachel Johnson as well, and I really appreciate Rachel stopping in. Rachel is an admin with the LWN. She helps to moderate as well as our Facebook group, Life Begins When You Start Living. Inspire people who inspire others. That's what we're talking about right here.
Caroline came up. Hi, Caroline. It's
Caroline's so awesome. She's a great person. She's actually part of her experience is promotions and event coordinating. So, gosh, Carolyn, can we challenge you? Can you help us out here? Get it going in Canada, and I tell you, I love Carolyn Brown so very much. And I know she's a huge volunteer with the Chemo Buddies for Life, by the way. Great organization as well, connecting people. Um, and she did such a great job last year at the Giving Tuesday thing. That was so awesome. She did such a great job. So Carolyn, help us out. Help us out. Be the person that's known to have started it in Canada because you were watching this program and you saw Christine and you heard her story. How awesome would that be? That would
Yes,
be pretty awesome, I think.
changing the world. You're changing the world when you do it. You're part
Exactly.
of the world change. Just think, put that on your resume. I put it on your resume. What are you doing? I'm changing the world.
That's so awesome.
I have
She
connections.
is, and she does a lot of stuff. And I want to say hello to Christina Scullin. We love you, Christina. She's up in New York as well. Great person, loyal follower. Thank you so very much for joining us as well. Um, and Mona Hafez, she's in here. She wants to say hi to you too as well, Christina.
Yes. Thank you,
Hey,
Mona.
and Baggy Bro says, hello, how are you? And so thank you, everybody. And I might not be seeing all of the comments. I just want everybody to know that we do appreciate you taking time to come and watch us this evening. We hope that you will tell your friends all about this. I mean, this is an awesome initiative. It's a difficult story because nobody likes to lose their loved ones, let alone their children. But my goodness, when something like this comes out of it, this is so powerful. Christine, I'm so proud of you. And I just want to thank you for coming and joining us this evening. Why don't you just share some final thoughts, and I'll let you go ahead and give us some final thoughts about what you're thinking there.
So 15 years right now, and I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, and it's going to be a milestone, and it's either going to be the 15th year is either going to open doors I could have never imagined because I'm going to have sponsors and partnerships from all over the nation come forward and saying, Christine, we want to get involved and help raising awareness through whoever we are. Um, or I don't know because I know I can't spend another 15 years talking about the death of my daughter. So it's really going to be up to the public. It's going to be up to the people of the United States of America to come and help this mother continue her quest to make sure nobody ever has to endure what I did. Um, or I don't know. I really don't. But I know it's got to be something's got to happen. 15 years I did every single breath of my body. I've shared with people. So um, I'm going to leave this all in your hands. And I know you have great listeners, but it does take action. We have to be active. We can't sit on the sidelines and watch the story unfold. We got to be a participant. We have to
And
participate in change. If you want change, you have to participate in change. It doesn't happen by itself.
that's right. That's right. And that's where community comes in. And that's what we are. We're a great community here. We appreciate everybody for your efforts and what you're going to do to help Christine with her foundation and get this message out. Um, you know, we're blessed to be able to have this. I think that this is truly one of the most dynamic broadcasts that we've ever had. From the standpoint of, and that's what LWN Foundation, one of their goals is to help other small nonprofit foundations. We want to concentrate on people that are really making a difference in the community. And Christine, you are doing that. Thank you so very, very much. We appreciate everybody again. Much love, prayers. Thank you for joining us this evening. Feel free to reach out to Christine. You can send her a direct message. Go to the website. It's
Mm-hmm.
been scrolling across the bottom there. If you have a question, just send us a direct message. We're here to answer some questions and to help you be able to help others. Um, of course, it's Friday. It's Love Friday.
It is
You
Friday.
talked. It is Friday, and in LWN land, it's Love Friday. So we hope you love your Friday and you help. What you just said there, Christine, that's so awesome. You before me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an action word. Remember, everybody, it's an action word. It, the actions create the emotions and the feelings, and it's so good. So
Yeah.
share some love for us. Thank
Absolutely. Yes.
thank you, everybody. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend whenever you're watching this. Make sure to share this out, and we'll see you soon. I may be coming live this weekend. We never know, but I will be back at 6:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time for the Sunrise Daybreakers Tribe. Join us then. We'll welcome in a brand new day. We'll connect to nature. We'll connect to source. And of course, we'll connect to you, the community. Thank you much. God bless you all. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.